Good morning. It's a Sunday morning here in southeast Pennsylvania. It's 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time. And kind of cloudy day, not too bad. A little on the chilly side, I think. I'm Raleigh Brown. This is another curve flattening concert, number 385. And this will be an extended concert. I want to say hello to all my friends here who are filing in. So hello, Mike Verbeck and Pam Zappardino and Keith Shaw and Warren and Janelle and Andreas Postler and Charlie Bryant, the Raleigh World's court jester, and Peter Lips, Peter Williamson, and Russell Nichols over on YouTube, Kathy Marzik and Keith Shaw, Terry St. James, Michael Tierson, Ken and Supa on YouTube up there in the Great Northwest, and Stephen DeHaas is here. I think he's on YouTube also. Hi, Steve. And Steve Edelman, Marshall Lowe, Deb Leiby Clark, Donna Greenberg, Rich Fowler, Carol Pred. It's snowing in Cleveland. That's why I live in Philadelphia. Uh-oh, Janelle is taking the controls. Okay, I'll know who to blame. Ben Layden is here too. Hi, Ben. And Ann Mintz made it in. And so I usually do all requests here, but a couple of the requests today may be my requests. And this is one of them, because I like to do one original for each concert. So maybe we'll, let me just set, okay. Now I used to live a Hep Cat life. It had a lot of drama, a lot of strife. Staying in some cheap abode. The rent comes due and you hit the road. If your voice keeps working, catch a ride out of town. You miss your baby and you feel so down. Call her number and you get some guy. Just shrug your shoulders and you go get high. Play the guitar till 3 a.m. Breakfast at noon and then you start again. Late nights at the diner with friends to see for laughter and camaraderie. The sun went down and I was at my best. When the sun came up, I was taking my rest. Now I get up with the dawn. I end up working all day long. I don't quite know why or when I became a model citizen. Life used to be messy in many ways. Boy, I sure miss those Hep Cat days. Yes, I used to live a Hep Cat life. Had a lot of drama, a lot of strife. Life was messy in many ways, but boy, I sure miss those Hep Cat days. So that's called Hep Cat Days. A little bit has some based on my true life story. Let me see who else is here. I said hi to you guys, and then we get down to about here. Donna Greenberg is here. Rich Fowler, Charlie Bryant. I said hi to you. Ben Layden. Jerry Fan Forever is Keith Shaw again. and Steve Edelman and Michael Anthony Wood and Kate Petrella down there in Florida, and Steve Davidson back here in the good old continental USA again, and Rita Rubin Long from Maine, my old buddy Rita, and Kathy Marzik, Lauren Payne, Andreas Postler in Germany, Vince Dembinski, I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for stopping by. Charlie Ortolani is here, my buddy up in Massachusetts. And Mike Miller from North Carolina. Hi, Michael. And Jeanette Pasqua from right around here. And Susan Douglas from Massachusetts. Nice of you all to stop in. So I used to live a Hep Cat life at various times in my life. You know, I lived in San Francisco at one time, and then when I first moved into Philly, I had pretty much no attachments, and I was, you know, our late friend Jack McGann, believe he once told Ann Mintz to like pay attention because these are the good old days, and those were the times we were living in the early '80s, which now are the good old days, and I look back on them fondly and with great emotion. I moved into Philly in 1980 and was really welcomed into a community of people who are now my friends for over 40 years. And I'm going to try and do a song. I get very emotional with this song, and I've been trying to figure out why. And there are several reasons. One of them is I love the woman who wrote it, who's Judith Fox, who's one of the Invisibles here, and she may be here. And I know she wrote it in a very, as a very deep thing. It's a lullaby, and that it was from that part of my life where I remember all these good friends. So if I take an extended break in the middle, it's because my emotions got the better of me and I can't sing. But it's also just a beautiful, beautiful lullaby that more people should hear. It's called Stone Harbor Lullaby. The wind blows steady across the bay. Clayfish ring like bells. Papa sails the yellow boat so swiftly through the swells, so swiftly through the swells. So we'll gently rock my little babe. Close your sleepy eyes. Listen to the lapping waves. Feel Mama's heart nearby. Feel Mama's heart nearby. And when you're grown, you will have a boat and a baby of your own. You will sing a lullaby and know the love of home. Stone Harbor Lullaby by Judith Fox, who is one of the Invisibles here. So if you're here, Judith, much love to you, and I still adore this song. But as you can tell, it's a little hard for me to get through it. The other Invisibles are Kate Mack and Kit Sarikaku and Linda Worster and Bill Rubenstein and Joel Biget over in France. Mario Prue up in northern Ontario, where they're still having snow, I saw this morning. And there might be a couple others who I'm missing, but I apologize. So Leslie Williams Earhart is here. Good morning. Welcome aboard, Leslie. And Charlie Koch, hey, man. And good to see you guys here. And Cozy, too. Hi, Cozy Sheridan. And Donna Zach Beal, I haven't seen you in a while. And that's very, very fitting that you would be here, because I'm talking about those good old days that you were also a witness to. And William Sawyer is here, Jeff Blumenthal, Helene Tober Fowler, Susan Douglas I said hi to. I think I got pretty much everybody there. Great. So so there was another part of my life which was probably kind of fell under the heading of my Hep Cat days, and that was when I lived in San Francisco. When I lived in San Francisco, I taught at a music store called Marina Music, and recently I was Facebook friended by a guy who I had taught with there, a guy named Ned Aswell. And Ned was a great guy. I really enjoyed his company when we both were teaching there. And there was a kind of coterie of us who used to hang out there on Union Street, and quite honestly, just watch the beautiful women walk by, because Union Street was a parade at that time. And there was a little bench in front of Marina Music, and we would just sit out there when we weren't teaching. We did not utter catcalls or anything like that. We were very proper in our own way. But Ned was a great guy. Anyhow, he requested St. Louis Tickle. Now, I don't know if he's here. I don't know if he's an Invisible. He might see it later. St. Louis Tickle goes way back. This is a tune that Dave Van Ronk transcribed from a piano version, and one of the first kind of classic rags that came into popularity in the fingerstyle guitar world. And I took off maybe 30 years from playing it, but I've kind of rejuvenated it a little. John Hubner is here, and he has probably heard me play this tune. Jack Davis is here, and thank you, Jack, for that. And Aretta Walk and Ron and Amy Roach and Lauren Payne and John Kazin. So lots of folks, good crowd here. So here it is, the St. Louis Tickle, to the best of my knowledge. St. Louis Tickle, pretty much the way Dave played it. I had to change a couple things. Dave Van Ronk had really big hands. He was a big guy. I do not have such big hands, so reaching stuff like this, which he did, he would get this and this. It's a little bit of a stretch, and a lot of times I'll fudge it. I'll go, it still works. Hey, KJ Breathwaite, good to see you on there from Colorado, my old buddy. I'm hoping to see you in Kansas this year if the world doesn't fall apart too badly. Doug Bowers, hi Doug. And John Rossi's here. Good to see all you guys. Gene Galligan, hi Gene. And Osling Bain, boy, I missed a lot of people back here. I got to keep looking. I think that's it. Rich Laughlin. Okay, I think I'm kind of caught up. Chris Layden from Colorado, also another part of Colorado. So next up, what do we got? So here's one. Somebody requested this. I forget who, but that's okay. This is an amazing song. You've all heard it. You heard it by the Animals, and maybe by Bob Dylan, and maybe by Dave Van Ronk, who actually created the version of it that most people are familiar with, because he changed the chord progression around. This is House of the Rising Sun. And I did a little research on House of the Rising Sun, and the earliest recorded version is sung from the point of view of a man. So it's not about a house of prostitution necessarily. And Van Ronk, in his book, he and Elijah Wald's book, The Mayor of McDougal Street, tells about somebody showing him a photo of the Orleans Parish Women's Jail that had what he thought was a rising sun above the gate. And so I went out on the interwebs and I found this picture. And so you can see there, I'm not sure if you guys can see my cursor here. I'm not sure if it works that way. But, in the middle of that photo, above the gate, there's that circle and then like a lantern above the circle. And this must have been what he saw as the emblem of the rising sun. So maybe that is the House of the Rising Sun, and maybe not. If you go on Wikipedia or wherever, you'll find all kinds of opinions about that. Hi, Paulette Dubois is here, and Connie Copy, and Toby Simmons. So anyhow, I sing it from the male point of view, and there's a historical antecedent to that. And without further ado. Now there is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. God, I know I'm one. My mama was a tailor. She sewed those new blue jeans. My daddy, he was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Now the only thing that a gambler needs a suitcase and a trunk. The only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drum. Got one foot on the platform, the other foot on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. Now go tell my baby sister don't do what I have done. Spend your life in shame and misery in the house of the rising sun. Now I'm going back to New Orleans. My race is almost run. I'm going back to spend my life beneath the rising sun. Yeah, there is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. The House of the Rising Sun. So I realized that I neglected to clunk you all. So, good morning. I'm going to switch guitars here and go into drop D tuning. And so this is an instrumental. A lot of times it's interesting to me when I ask for requests, because a lot of the tunes that come up are old kind of tunes from back in the 60s and 70s when I was just becoming a grown-up and playing these songs. And so it's a little trip down memory lane, as we might say. I said hi to the Invisibles. Let me do some announcements. So today is me, and tomorrow is me. Tomorrow, Monday at 3 o'clock, I'll be doing my usual four-tune concert. And then Tuesday, Cozy Sheridan and Charlie Koch, who were at least on here at the beginning, I don't know if they are, are doing their wonderful concert, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Go to Cozy Sheridan's page. It's COSY, and you'll hear some wonderful music and original songs and great singing and great playing. All around a great show. So, and then Wednesday, I will be back at 3 p.m. And at that point, we'll talk about what happens later in the week. So this is another one that actually a tune that kind of came out of San Francisco, I think, by Jorma Kaukonen, who was at that time part of a little band called the Jefferson Airplane, and this was on their album Surrealistic Pillow, and it's called Embryonic Journey. Probably first heard that song in Rusty Leisenheimer's living room with John Hubner and Jim Moore and Rusty and maybe Norm Orgel. Way back, way back in like 1966 or something like that. I just saw somebody comment, Terry said this song reminds him of Pete Seeger's Going to the Country. So it is in the same tuning. Like Pete does that in drop D, you know. Pete's came first, so he may have influenced Jorma. Who knows? So here's another one for you. Another request. This one came from my friend David Arthur Ratcliffe, and just happens to also be in drop D. Let me just check some comments here. Homeward bound one night on the deep, swinging in my hammock I fell asleep. I dreamed a dream and I thought it true, concerning Franklin and his gallant crew. With 100 seamen he sailed away to the frozen ocean in the month of May, to find a passage around the pole where we poor sailors do sometimes go. Through cruel hardships they mainly strove, their ship on mountains of ice was drove. Only the Eskimo with his skin canoe was the only one that ever came through. Baffin Bay where the whale fishes blow, the fate of Franklin no man may know. The fate of Franklin no tongue can tell. Lord Franklin with his sailors does dwell. And now my burden, it brings me pain. For my long-lost Franklin I would cross the main. 10,000 pounds I would gladly give to know on earth that my Franklin does live. So that's Lord Franklin. So you may recognize, and some of you have heard me talk about this before, that Bob Dylan appropriated the melody and part of the lyrics little snippets of the lyrics for his song Bob Dylan's Dream, which is also a wonderful song, which I'm not going to play for you right now. And let's see who else is here. Terry Linder, hi Ter. And Julie Predgotchuk, nice to see you. John Renborn, well, John Renborn did a version of that. My version is probably influenced by his, but not stolen from him. And Rusty Luthi, people are commenting on the connection there. Mary Armstrong, hi Mare. And Brian Kuiper is here. A nice, wonderful bunch of people. My peeps here on the interwebs. So I might do a couple more for you here, since we're doing this extended one. And this was another request. Now once I lived the life of a millionaire, and spending all my money and I didn't care, and taking my friends out for a mighty good time. I was buying bootleg liquor, champagne and wine. Then I began to fall so low. I didn't have no friends and I had no place to go. If I ever get my hands on $1 again, I'm gonna hang on to it till that eagle grins, 'cause nobody knows you when you're down and out. If in your pockets you haven't got a penny, your friends, you haven't any, but let you get back on your feet again. And everyone becomes your long-lost friend. It's mighty strange without a doubt, how nobody knows you when you're down and out. Yes, nobody knows you when you're down and out. If in your pockets you haven't got a penny, then your friend, you haven't any, let you get back on your feet again. Everyone becomes your long-lost friend. It's mighty strange without a doubt, and nobody knows you when you're down and out. I mean, when you're down and out. The Down and Out Blues. I think written by Jimmy Cox. Is that who it was? And going back down here, seeing if I missed anybody. Jackie Damsky just stopped in a little bit late. And Greg Artsner, watching on YouTube on the big TV. Am I louder? Mark Steele is here. Dakota Dave. So I don't get a chance to read these as they go by too fast here right now. But I do go back and read them after the concert's over. So you might stop back later and see if sometimes I'll comment on something that somebody writes. And so I'm going to do one more here, and then we'll do the mantra. And this one, actually, Dakota Dave took a stab at this one yesterday. So I don't mean to steal your thunder here, Dakota Dave, but I think it was for the same reason, Linda Worster requesting it. And this is written by J.D. Loudermilk for Chet Atkins, and it's called Windy and Warm. So. So that's Windy and Warm. Hi there, Lucy Oliverio Gernot, who used to be Lucy Oliverio in high school, but is now even more. Nice to have you here, Luce. So that's about it for today. I'll do a Terry Leonino, My Dear. Be happy, be healthy, be brave, and be calm. Be kind, it's a snap. And if you get cranky, take a nap. thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to have you here. And I'll be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock. If you can't make it to that one, then tune in and see Cozy and Charlie on Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. And I'll be back Wednesday again at 3 p.m. Much love to you all. Thanks. Bye-bye.